Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Myself, Zishan Haider Rizvi, welcomes you to yet another new episode of the program, The Message of Humanity, where we are speaking with various Islamic scholars, our viewers from across the globe, sharing the important messages from the tragedy of Karbala. Also, they are sharing the important initiatives being taken to spread the message of humanity. Today, we have two great personalities in our show. We have Aga Sheikh Ismail, all the way from West Africa, Ghana, and we have Mr. Razak Reda, all the way from the city Karbala. Dear viewers, as we see that in today's point of time, at one place in Iraq where ISIS has taken its existence, increasing the verge of brutality after every single day. On the other side, Boko Haram cannot be denied, which has already created a fear into millions. But then at the very same time, the most astonishing fact, which cannot be neglected at all, that despite of the fear, despite of the terrorism increasing day by day, millions and billions of mourners are all the way ready to travel towards the city Karbala to commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Let's begin the show with the important messages from the tragedy of Karbala and then talking about the current happenings. Aga, starting the conversation with you very first, Aga Ismail, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Very thankful to you, Aga, for being a part of this show, and it's a great opportunity for us to talk about the important messages from the tragedy of Karbala through this show, and it's been a pleasure talking to you as always. Aga, starting the conversation with this very important thing, I would like you to increase our knowledge over what were the primary reasons, what was the motive of Imam Hussain alayhi salam behind traveling all the way from Medina. And at one point of time, we see that he converts his Hajj to Umrah and then travels all the way to Karbala. What were the primary reasons behind the journey of Imam Hussain alayhi salam towards Karbala? I would like you to start this conversation on this context.
Thank you very much, my brother. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. The reasons that made Imam Hussein converted his Hajj into Umrah was that immediately Yazid succeeded his father and decided to continue the tyrannical rule that the father started. The first thing to do was that he made sure everyone pledged allegiance to him. And it was the culture of the Arab that if anyone comes to power, he has to demand for everyone to actually surrender under him or pledge allegiance to him. So he realized that Imam Hussein was opposition to him. So the only thing that he can do to actually feel safe in the environment was to get Imam Hussein under him. And due to this, he told the governor of Medina that if Imam Hussein refuses to pledge allegiance to him, then he should slaughter him and bring his head to him in Damascus. So when Imam Hussein had this news, when he heard about this news, he told the people that someone like me do not pledge allegiance to someone like Yazid. If I should pledge allegiance to him, it means I'm totally in acceptance of everything that he's going to do. And I know this man is going to actually bring evil on the land. So I will not surrender under this man. When Imam Hussein again realized that it was too much for him to stay there, because when he continued to stay there, they will kill him, he migrated from Medina to Mecca. So he stayed there for about 4 months. And on the 4th month, it was the Hajj. So when the Hajj month approached, he made all preparations to embark on the Hajj activities. But unfortunately, he came to realize that most or some of those who came for the Hajj activities are from Yazid's camp. So if he should continue to do the Hajj, these people will kill him. in the holiest land, or in the holiest mosque that is within the Kaaba. So when this information came to him and he got to realize that these people have prepared to take his life at that place, he said, no, I wouldn't stay here for my blood to be split in this holy mosque. So fortunately for him, he had already received so many letters from the people of Kufa, inviting him to come and lead them and to also give the true teachings of Islam to them. So he told his companions and his family that today we are leaving here to Kufa. So instead of ending the Hajj activities, he actually turned the Hajj into Umrah in order to save himself, because self-protection is wajib for every Muslim. So he decided to actually save himself from this calamity. So he left Medina to Kufa. But before he left, he had already sent Muslim bin Aqil to go to Kufa and report back to him whether the condition there was safe and favorable for him to come and live there. And when Muslim bin Aqil also got there, he sent a letter back to Imam Hussein that the people there have pledged allegiance to him, Imam Hussein. So the place was safe for him to come. Not knowing that after that, Yazid changed the governor at Kufa in place of another. And the one that came, he instructed him that he should make sure that he imprisoned every Shia or kill him. And this resulted in the death of Muslim bin Aqil. So Imam Hussein, knowing that the place was safe, and he got himself prepared to Kufa, on the way, the army of Yazid stopped him and they prevented him from going to Kufa. So within the 1st of Muharram to the 10th of Muharram, they continued to detain them and force them to surrender under Yazid or they lose their life. And unfortunately, on the 10th day, there was a great tragedy that resulted in the death of Imam Hussein, alayhi salatu wasalam, and his companions.
Jazakallah, very well said in this context that Imam Hussein alayhi salam never wanted to accept the allegiance of Yazid, the accursed one. And then finally at one point of time we see that Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when he is aware that there are people of Yazid who are in Makkah trying to kill or martyr Imam Hussein alayhi salam, at that point of time, in respect of that divine place, the divine holy Kaaba, he converts his Hajj to Umrah and moves from there. Aga, moving ahead at that, on a similar context, as we see that Islam was being hijacked at that point of time. Yazid, the accursed one, he tried to implement all of his malicious ideologies which were totally against the Sunnah, totally against the sayings and the guidelines of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yazid Lanati was completely performing anything or everything which was totally against the true ideologies of Islam. At that point of time, this was done. Imam Hussein alayhi salam stood against his ideologies, moved towards Karbala. In a similar manner, Aga, at this point of time in today's world, as we see, be it ISIS, Boko Haram, or many other organizations working against Islam in the name of jihad, they are trying to claim that this is what is Islam. What would be a primary duty of a follower of Imam Hussein alayhi salam? How can one understand that what is the true Islam? I would like you to speak in this regard, Aga.
Thank you very much, my brother, for this question as well. The actions of Yazid ibn Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan is a clear indication of what we are seeing today. And what we are seeing today from the ISIS, from the Boko Haram, from the Al-Shabaab are the reflection of what happened at Karbala. This is because Yazid, when he came to power, he decided to portray Islam in such a way that people would think that he was actually practicing the true Islam. So he made innocent people support him, and in their support, they killed innocent people. And among those they killed was Imam Hussein and his companions. They actually brainwashed people to make people realize that Imam Hussein and his people are actually the enemy of Islam, and for that matter, they have to be eliminated. So today, when you see the main aim of the ISIS, the Al-Shabaab, the Al-Qaeda, and the rest, all what they are trying to say is that they are actually practicing the true Islam, and anyone who refuses to follow their way of Islam is a kafir, and for that matter, that person should be killed. When you look at it very critically, you get to realize that these actions did not start today. It started a long time, but every century it tried to turn into a new shape and a new name. So new names are coming, and we don't know that even after ISIS, there are going to be several ones that are to come, all in the name of trying to kill innocent Muslims in the name of jihad. Most people also don't understand the word jihad, and for that matter, they generalize and stereotype the whole Muslims that they are warlike people and they are violent people. When we say jihad, jihad means to strive, and jihad fi sabilillah means to strive in the cause of Allah. So when someone is actually striving with his knowledge, with his wisdom, with his wealth, with his intellect to actually make sure that Islam become the best religion on the face of the earth, then this person is actually striving and he's doing jihad. So the jihad that people even think that it only means to kill, to slaughter another human being, and to do any other thing like that, it is what the enemy of Islam has devised as a method to actually spoil Islam. So jihad means to strive, and to strive, that is to do it in the cause of Allah, the Almighty God. So God will also not wish that innocent souls should be killed. So anyone who is killing any innocent soul, that person is not doing jihad in the name of Allah. He's only doing something to sacrifice his own pleasures and his own heart desires and personal interest. So it is the duty of the follower of Imam Hussein to wake up and make sure that anywhere he is, through his behavior, through his actions, through his interaction with people, he actually portray what Imam Hussein really asked everyone to do, to be the best among everyone at everywhere you are. And this will make people realize that Ahlul Bayt has a good message, and Imam Hussein actually stood for what is right and not for what is wrong.
Jazakallah. No doubt it is very clear that whoever is trying to do any sort of oppression on any human being on this earth is completely against Islamic ideologies, and in the name of jihad, whatever these organizations are doing is completely or perhaps totally against the ideologies of the true Islam. So we need to identify that what exactly Islam is a religion to sacrifice for good, not for something which would lead to oppression or to any sort of thing which is harmful for any human being on this planet Earth. Aga, moving ahead, and we see that there are hundreds of ahadith traditions by Holy Prophet ﷺ speaking over the important personality of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. One of the most famous one is, as Holy Prophet ﷺ said, that Hussein is from me and I'm from Hussein. So in this regards, I would like you to increase our knowledge with an important saying or a tradition over Imam Hussein alayhi salam's great personality.
Okay, thank you very much. There are so many sayings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in regards to the virtues of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. The Quran has also highlighted more about the status of Imam Hussein and the Ahlul Bayt in general. But one most popular saying of the Prophet in regards to the virtues of Imam Hussein the Prophet said, Husaynu minni wa ana min Husayn. Ahabballahu man ahabba Husayna. Hussein is from me and I am from Hussein. Almighty Allah loves anyone that loves Hussein. When the Prophet said, I am from Hussein, or when he said, Hussein is from me, we could all read from history that the Prophet gave birth to Sayyidah Fatima alayhi salatu wasalam, and Sayyidah Fatima married Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, and they gave birth to Imam Hussein. So Imam Hussein is a direct grandson of the Prophet. But when the Prophet said, I am from Hussein, it wasn't that he wanted to say that Hussein is going to give birth to him, but he wanted to say that the cause, that is the cause by which Almighty Allah brought him to this earth, is to preach Islam to mankind and to guide them from falsehood to righteousness. So it is true, Imam Hussein, that this saying or this prophecy shall actually be fulfilled. Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Holy Quran that هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على دين كله ولو كره المشركون. That Almighty Allah has brought His prophets, and among the prophets He sent a religion with him, that this religion is going to outweigh all religion or supersede all the religions, even if the disbelievers like or they don't adhere to it. But before the Prophet passed away, this prophecy was not fulfilled. Even in our current times, Islam is not the oral religion that has superseded the rest of the religions. There are other religions that prevails, that even preaches a lot than the Muslim scholars today. But this prophecy will be fulfilled when the grandson of the Prophet, that is Imam Mahdi, who will come from the progeny of Imam Hussein, will come and actually rule over the whole world with the power and the mighty that Almighty Allah will bestow on him. So it is through the progeny of Imam Hussein that we shall have this grandson. And when we have this grandson, that is when the aim of the Prophet being sent on earth will actually be fulfilled. That is why the Prophet said, Hussein is from me and I am from Hussein. It means I have given birth to Hussein, and it is through Hussein that what I came to do on earth will totally be fulfilled before the end of time.
Jazakallah Aga. I must say that this is one such saying which is not only being noted by the Shia Muslim authors, but there are Sunni books and there are hundreds of references to this important saying where Holy Prophet ﷺ said that Husaynu minni wa ana min al-Husayn. Hussein is from me and I am from Hussein. So whoever has hurted Hussein alayhi salam has surely hurted the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and indirectly he has hurted the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whoever has hurted Allah is no doubt his final destination is the fire of hell. So very thankful to you, Aga, for explaining us so well with this tradition in this regards. Talking about the current scenarios, Aga, where we are yet to come out of the incidents of Nigeria, where the innocent brothers were killed, were martyred, and of course the oppressions on the family of Ayatollah Zakzaki, and even on Ayatollah Zakzaki being present. What could be the major cause behind this, or what important thing you would like to share in this regards? We would like you to share some important update about the current situation out there, Aga.
Thank you very much, my brother, for this question as well. Africa is at peace as far as the issue of Sunnah and Shia is concerned. Even though the enmity is there, but to the extent that there will be bloodshed, it's not likely that you hear this in Africa. This is all because the majority of the countries in Africa are ruled by Christians, and majority of those in governance are also Christians. So the Sunnis or the Shias are not numbered to understand that they will have the power and the strength to act the way they want. But it was quite unfortunate about the incidents that took place in Nigeria. The army went there, started shooting from morning to evening, and no one could stop them. It was very, very unfortunate. And what I realized from this is that we don't have most of our people within the security and even in the governance. If, for instance, the Nigerians were having 4 judges and 10 lawyers who are Shias, the issue of Zakzaki, Ayatollah Zakzaki, wouldn't have lasted till today. They will have made sure that he is released, and the lawyers and the judges will have made sure that they stand on the law to fight for the right of Ayatollah Zakzaki in Nigeria. But this is the case. We may not find a Shia who is a judge, or we may not find so many lawyers who are Shias in the country. So even if a Shia is having a problem and it gets to court, no one is there to defend him or her. But that shouldn't have been the case. If the Shia Muslims are having about 5% or 10% of their people within the army, and even in the police, from all the security forces, it will have been very difficult for these people to attack the Shias everywhere they are. Because they know that whenever they are to attack, they also have the army behind them, and they also have the support from the lawyers and the judges who are behind them to fight for them. But if we don't have these things, always we will continue to stay in this problem. So it is a wake-up call for the Shia community in Africa and even in the world at large to start training lawyers, that they should start training lawyers, engineers, doctors, and try to fix people or help people get themselves employed in the army and in the police and even in politics, or even get most of their people in governance. If, for example, a Shia becomes a president in a country, or about 10 ministers are Shias within a country, or even most of them are big people in the community, anytime there is a problem, these people will stand and fight for the rights of their people. Mostly, what we do is to only train our people to become Muslim scholars. But this is the time that we have to know that our enemy is still at work. And for that matter, we should start preparing ourselves and try to organize ourselves very well so that within each country, the Shias that live there will have a very secure or a very strong security that protects them in anything that they do. So what happened in Nigeria was quite unfortunate, and we still stand to say that Ayatollah Zakzaki must be freed because he is innocent, and he stands for truth, and he stands for the rights of the oppressors.
Jazakallah, very well said. It's a high time for all of us. The primary duty could be to increase the message of humanity for all the followers of humanity, the lovers of Imam Hussain al-Islam, to gain knowledge, to study, to understand what could be the reasons, and then stay alert. That could be the thing. Being in minority, of course, the problems would always be there, but then as you have said, that we need to gain knowledge, we need to reach up to that level that we can be strong enough to fight against any such evil activities being performed within the place where humanity exists. But then, Aga, accepting the fact, no matter what it is, I would like to ask that how safe the Shia Muslims, Shia brothers are in regards to commemorating Azadari, commemorating Muharram. Are they feeling safe? Is the government cooperative enough, or the fear remains, Aga?
Thank you very much, my brother. Even though there are oppression on the Shia community or the Shia Muslims in every part of the world, but as far as Ghana is concerned, there is no problem between the Sunnis and the Shias, except in some few occasions. But that occasions do not prevent the Shia Muslims to commemorate the Muharram activity, that's the Ashura program. The government have no problem every year when we are celebrating the Ashura program. We write to the president to provide us with security, and he gives us the protection. Sometimes he sends police to come and guide us through the Masir, up and down, and at the end, we actually become comfortable as we are living in this country. So in Ghana here, we celebrate the Ashura peacefully every year, and there has not been a time that Ashura was organized in Ghana and even someone got injured from an opponent or from a Sunni. So we live in a peaceful condition as far as the country Ghana is concerned. It is only that in some few occasions we have some small issues, but Alhamdulillah, we can say that we live in peace in Ghana.
Jazakallah Aga. No doubt this is the love of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. The martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salam has given us a strong vision to not to fear with whatsoever evils around. We need to fight against anything which is incorrect, anything which is against humanity. And you have very well said in this regards. Thank you so much, Aga. Jazakallah Aga. Very thankful to you over this important guidance on this important subject. Thank you so much, Aga, for being a part of this show. Dear viewers, as I've already said right at the beginning of the show that we have two great important personalities, time has come to speak to another special guest of the show tonight, Mr. Razak Rida sir, connected all the way from Iraq, an Iraqi citizen in Karbala right now. We'll be talking to him over the security point of view, where ISIS has taken its existence, creating a fear as well as increasing the height of terrorism. We'll be talking about the important steps being taken, also the initiatives, the happenings of the people in Karbala, as we see that millions and billions of mourners are traveling without any fear towards Karbala to commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. We have Razak Rida sir. Very thankful to you for being a part of this show tonight, and starting the conversation, sir, I would like you to increase our knowledge as a mourner, as a follower of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, as a lover of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. What would be your understanding about the tragedy of Karbala? I would like you to share in few words the tragedy of Karbala with all our viewers watching this show from across the globe.
Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, has inspired many people other than Muslims. This is because of his great personality and the great sacrifice that he made towards serving the humanity. He, in fact, has given everything he had, his companions, his sons, brothers, and everything he had, just to serve the humanity and to say that justice has to be imposed in this life. In fact, people that seek for humanity, seek for helping humanity, and seek for freedom in this life and happiness in the hereafter, have to, in fact, get lessons from this big sacrifice, from this big story of Imam Hussein. He could have lived a very nice life just by saying yes to Yazid and live his like a king. But he refused to say that because he couldn't impose an injustice in this life, but rather he wanted to spread justice and spread freedom for everybody. Islam was about to be demolished, at that time. Without the big sacrifice of Imam Hussein, we wouldn't have the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam be separate as it is now.
Jazakallah, sir. Very well said over the important messages from the tragedy of Karbala, that fighting against evil and saving humanity, perhaps saving the truth itself, is one of the major messages from the tragedy of Karbala. Speaking to you over the factual point of view, sir, my question to you is, you might have witnessed terrorism from a very closer view, where ISIS has taken its existence since a very long time. Despite of the fact that whatever is happening, people are fearlessly traveling all the way towards Karbala to commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Now the important thing is, on a security point of view, what major steps the government of Iraq has taken? What are the important steps what initiatives are being taken on a humanitarian ground over the security and safety of the mourners of Imam Hussein alayhi salam?
Well, despite all the terrorist action made to prevent pilgrims to march towards Imam Hussein shrine, we have found that the number of pilgrims are increasing every year to show the terrorists and show the whole world that this terrorist action will never prevent the pilgrims from visiting the holy shrine during the ziyarat and during the whole year. This is to show that people who love Imam Hussein, they are true lovers, and they are seeking freedom in this life and the happiness in hereafter, and they know for sure that Imam Hussein deserve to have this big sacrifice from us, and we have to challenge the terrorists. And actually, the terrorists were able to kill many of their pilgrims during the past years, and they will never stop doing this. We know that, but we have the big challenge that we will reach the holy shrine and do our ziyarat every time and never be stopped from this ziyarat. Being an Iraqi citizen, I have witnessed many terrorist action of ISIS in Iraq for the past 2 years. They overtake many parts of Iraq by killing people everywhere. In fact, they are using Islam to cover their actions, whereas they are really far away from Islam and from any other religions. They don't have any rules. In fact, if they take control of any area, they turn it out to be a really destroyed area. But the Iraqi people had a great sacrifice as well here to face this group of terrorists. And by the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the grace of Ahlul Bayt, we were able to defeat them in many parts, and we are actually moving towards the last part of Iraq, inshallah, to get rid of the last person of ISIS in Iraq, inshallah, very soon.
Jazakallah, sir. The fact cannot be denied that they are being defeated, and they will be completely defeated at one point of time. We are extremely positive and confident about that. And dear viewers, as it is rightly said by by Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that for surely the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam will ignite such a fire within the hearts of believers that shall never be extinguished, and the existence of his purified words can be seen throughout the world up till today, and this will be up till the day of judgment. And despite of the fact that terrorism has increased of late in Iraq, salute to all of those mourners, the lover of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, traveling all the way from across the globe towards Karbala to mourn the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. What important messages you would like to give, sir, to all of these mourners, to the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, traveling towards Karbala?
Well, despite all the terrorist action made to prevent pilgrims to march towards the holy shrine of Imam Hussein. We find that the number of pilgrims that are marching towards Imam Hussein increasing every year. Like, for example, the last year, the number of pilgrims to Imam Hussein shrine during Ziyarah of Arwaniya exceed 25 millions, whereas before that the number was much less than this. And we are expecting the number of pilgrims towards Imam Hussein will be more than that this year. This is just to say to the terrorists that we will never forget our Imam Hussein, and we will never forget the big sacrifice that he made to save the humanity. We must show the terrorists and show the whole world that we love Imam Hussein for the great humanity that he has, for the great personality that he has.
Jazakallah, sir. No doubt the commemoration of Azadari, the martyrdom of Imam Hussein al-Islam, cannot be forgotten no matter what happens, and of course no matter how much attacks. The traveling towards the shrine of Imam Hussein al-Islam in Karbala will never be stopped. Very well said. We are fortunate enough to fight against such oppressions through the messages of Karbala. Thank you so much, sir, for being a part of the show. Dear viewers, we had two very special guests tonight, Aga Sheikh Ismail all the way from Africa, Ghana, and Mr. Razak Rida sir all the way from Karbala in Iraq, shared the important messages from the tragedy of Karbala and the current happenings. We are very thankful to both of our guests for being a part of the show. Inshallah, we will be back with yet another new episode tomorrow at the very same time. Please do not forget to write down your responses. Our contact details are on your television screen. Inshallah, we'll be back with yet another new episode at the very same time. Till then, myself, Zishan Haider Rizvi, will be apart from you. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow. Keep watching Channel Win, the message of humanity.
جسمي فداك يا حسين عملي وعلمي فداك يا حسين ديني